Everybody, Phil Kerner here, the Tool and Die Guy, and Merry Christmas. You can see it's Christmasville here at the Kerner House, and getting excited about a nice time with my family this week. But tonight I'm going to spend a little time with my YouTube family. So let's get started with some scathing remarks. So I've had to learn since I've been online. There's a lot of people that have a lot of issues with what I do and how I teach, and I've learned, because my love for college football, there's people that just jump online, like, I'm on the Penn State boards all the time, and it's always interesting to see like the Michigan and Ohio State guys get on our boards and start seeing what we're saying about them, and we're always like, are you guys so insecure about your team if they're so great coming on our board to see what we're saying about you? So I get it. So we call them trolls in that venue, but I'm going to look at this more as on my YouTube stuff as hecklers. And you guys all know, if you've ever been to an event and the speaker's speaking and somebody decides to heckle them. Personally, I find it not that funny. I find it very uncomfortable to watch somebody, heckle the speaker. But it's always about how their speaker handles it. So I guess this is a test for me. I put up this series I started on mentoring, and for some reason it's really generating a lot of, I wouldn't call it hate mail, but some really aggressive remarks, to the point where I had to make the remarks actually, I have to approve them, because I don't need this, I mean, I'm just trying to help these kids and detail with you guys what I'm doing, but it really triggers a lot of emotions apparently in some people. So anyways, I got this tonight. I had mentioned in a previous video, my first video on mentoring, part 1, that I was teaching my apprentice how to read mics, and I had a measure set of gauge blocks, and I knew what the dimension was supposed to be, 732 thousandths, and he said point. He didn't even say the word point. He said 732. I said, you're right. You got the numbers right, but here's how you pronounce that. It's 732 thousandths. So this is from one of my favorite hecklers. He's a frequent flyer. And he says, and I mentioned, somebody says, is that right or wrong? But they put it under my second video. So I didn't know what they were talking about. I've got like 300 videos online, okay? So I don't remember like all my content. So under my second video, somebody jumped on me about this 0.732 thing. And I just said, what are you referring to? So here's what I got from Alexander. How can you not know what he's referring to? Part 1 in this video, 4 minutes and 50 seconds in, is where you say it. Well, then put the comment under part 1. Just help me out here. If you want to give me a hard time, pick the right video. But he says, an important lesson that the mentor must learn is not to focus on the superficial factors. Is 0.732 really wrong? Its value and interpretation are unambiguous, and thus is adequate. Okay, that's fine. I see where you're going with that. He got the number right. Yay. So here's the thing. If I hand you this incredibly large measuring cup, and I pour milk in it, and I say to you, Alexander, how much milk did I just pour in this? And you say, 42 O's, 42 OZs. I'm sorry, 24 OZs. And it's okay, you got the number right, but OZ is short for ounces. So if you want to be a chef, you need to know that OZ is pronounced ounces. So the correct answer would be, hey Phil, I just put 24 ounces in that. Okay, so there's a reason behind why I do this, and where it comes up is that when I teach somebody how to read a scale, and I give them 330 seconds, and they say 332s. It all works together, okay? I want the guys that leave my area to not only be professional, but to sound professional, because I think it all works together. Maybe I'm old school. So in the end, I guess I am old school, and I will tell you this. I remember years ago when I was a drafting student, I was actually trained in tool and die design, and I could do the math, I could do the drawings right, but my teacher really gave me a hard time with my line weights. What he meant by that, if you look at an AutoCAD drawing now, it all looks the same. When I was trained, our object lines, which meant all of the outside lines, and our holes and features were a darker lead. And then we would do our dimension lines with a lighter lead, so the object always stood out. They don't do that anymore. I'm sure they could do it in AutoCAD, but people just don't take the time. don't regret that for a minute. So I am old school, and I think that's why 95% of the people that come here are here. They want to see how a guy like me learned the trade, and I'm passing it on. So what I'd really prefer from the guys who want to be a heckler, how about recording a few videos of how you would do it? Instead of just, jumping on and criticizing, I would very much welcome how you trained your apprentices and how many you trained and how you did it and how much success rate they had. And teach me. I'm open. So I'm Phil Kerner, and this is part 3 of mentoring, and we'll see you on part 4.